That's what you got to do. Get that right front to his left rear, take the air off of it. Use it all the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, just right up there on that racetrack, they are on top of each other, not wanting to give up that position.
Steve, we were watching Algar early in the race, and he was really fast in this part of the racetrack. This is his strength right here. Look at that. Such a great shot to be able to stay that close through the faster corner of the racetrack, and now he's right there. You see Harrison, hands moving as he gets a shove by the center down into turn 3.
Up the racetrack, Harrison goes. Here comes the 7 once again. Allgaier trying to take the spot away from Burton for fourth, but he still can't get by.
Patience being tested of the 7 right here. Harrison has every right to do what he's doing, but it is going to frustrate Allgaier, who feels he can go get the next position if he can just get by the 20. Allgaier is one of the most aggressive drivers in this series. He's the veteran of these guys. He teaches these young guys how to race. He's very aggressive. He saw Harrison go to the bottom. He went to the top to see if he can get a big run off 4.
So while he's working to try to get by the 20 of Harrison Burton, we take a look at the Toyota driver update, and Burton is currently running in that 4th spot. Started 6th, so it's gained a couple spots. Farthest back he's been today was 21st, but Harrison Burton still a driver who has multiple wins already in his career, but no wins in 2021. I think it shocked a lot of us. Driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, and none of the regular drivers for Joe Gibbs Racing have been able to get to victory lane in the Xfinity Series this year.
Harrison right there went to the top of the racetrack. He saw Allgaier do that the lap before. This is the area right here, Ricky, where Harrison's trying to protect and Allgaier's trying to take advantage.
It almost looks like he diamonds the corner just a little bit and tries to get a good run up off the corner, but the trajectory of his career, he's done a fantastic job, you know, doing really well in each division that he's done. And as a young athlete driver, that is super, super hard to do, so I respect the talent to be able to manage everything, not just the racing, but the off-the-track stuff is what I really struggled with early on in my career when I was taking off a little bit too fast, making the steps from one class to another.
Harrison Burton holding on to the 4th spot, but it's still Denny Hamlin up front as we go NASCAR nonstop. You won't miss a thing.
Check that out. Internet that's one step ahead.
That's cute. My internet streams to my ride.
Yeah? Well, mine's always got my back.
Okay, chill. Mine's faster than Harvick.
Okay, that's fast.
My internet's so fast, it keeps up.
Yep, that's because you all have the same internet. Xfinity X5. It's so powerful, it keeps one-upping itself.
Can your internet do that?
Yeah, I just saved a whole lot of money by switching to Geico.
Huh. We should take a closer look at Geico.
You know, Geico insures way more than cars, boats, motorcycles, even RVs. Geico insures RVs. What's an RV?
The thing we've been stuck on for 5 years.
Wait, I'm not a real moose? We've been over this, Jeff.
We're stickers.
I'm not a real moose. Give him some space.
Deep breaths, Jeff.
What's a sticker?
Take a closer look at Geico. Great savings and a whole lot more.
Subway has so much food. I ran out of time on the last day.
I'll take it from here. Sorry, Steph. Spokesperson refresh.
Wait, what?
Subway just upped their branding with the help of some world-class bakers. Looking at you now. Got a refresh.
How many people are in this?
That means freshly baked, with artisan Italian, and hearty multigrain. Typical Goodwin. Seriously? I didn't even get to finish. See you next time.
It's just part of the game.
I mean, the discipline, the mental discipline to have right now, Harrison Burton is showing us. Allgaier all over him, just hounding him, working that inside, trying to make it happen, can't do it. That takes some serious discipline, and I am really amazed. I love seeing younger drivers have that kind of ability to be able to do that.
Marty.
Jeff, you talked about the art of this game. Tyler Green, the spotter for Harrison Burton, knows that as well. He said the only way the 7's going to get by you is packing air right there off of 1 and 2. You see that time, Justin Allgaier's the one who gets loose. He knows that Harrison Burton's car is so free. That's his one shot to do it. Tyler Green trying to prep the 20 for that situation.
Well, he's talking to the 20 to try to work on that battle. Another battle that's heating up right here is Denny Hamlin, Noah Gragson, the driver of the 9. Got in the second, and now he's working his way, catching the 54. Now, I know that Hamlin is a pretty wily veteran. He's going to try to save some tire, but I don't believe he would let Noah get this close. As he works this lap traffic, the 9 is closing into under a second.
Steve, I got to ask you, watching this new patch and the transition, getting to the old part of the pavement, you're getting ready for the playoffs tomorrow in the Cup Series. You going to adjust your car and setup based on what you've seen today?
Yeah, we see the cup haulers outside. They're parked in here, but there are some small tweaks you can make before you have to put them on the grid tomorrow. And I think if I'm a crew chief watching this here, watch this nose 54. When it comes through here, it just pops right up over that area. Maybe there's a thing you got to do with the front shocks to try to make that transition more important. We talk so much about the grip of that area of the racetrack, Marty. It seems like the transition on and off the patch is the big issue.
Hey, Steve, I would argue Denny Hamlin's really only using what he needs to.
The points pay the same, the check cashes the same. So, yeah, absolutely. Especially the older you get, who cares? As long as you win, who cares how far you win by?
Hey, Ricky, teach me something about motocross. Here we have spotters, radios, crew chiefs giving a gap. When you're a rider out there, is it just the signboard every time by, or are there areas of the track you can find second place, you know, with your own vision?
Yeah, you got the signboard, of course, but then you can always take a peek to your side, you know, move your head, look around, especially in 180 corners, get a little, check your peripheral vision.
So, Ricky, I want to know, like we're talking about these guys on old tires, managing tires. What about motocross? Do you guys have to manage the race, or you just go full speed from the time you get rolling?
Yeah, you got to manage yourself strength-wise. You don't want to go out too hard because the races are long. They take a lot of cardiovascular strength. So finding that balance of where you won't blow up for the most part. And then, of course, the bike, those things, they'll last no problem. The races are so short, but the track, you're always adjusting the track.
Oh, man, they goes around. Brandon Jones goes around, and the 7th caution has come out. Tires. What do you think, Steve?
Yes, put them on if you have them.
9 to go, tires?
Absolutely.
Here's a question I've got, Steve. In the Xfinity Series, we have quite a few teams that don't have full budgets. How many of those guys will stay on the racetrack?
Yeah, I don't know.
How will that help Daniel Hemrick? Let's go back and see what happened. We know Brandon Jones has gotten a wreck earlier. His car's not driving the way he wants it to drive, just gets away from him.
Yeah, he spun around there. That's going to bring the yellow out. Before that, we were showing Mike Lindett running 9th on the racetrack. I wanted to point that was a great run for Mike Lindett. Great to see him back in the car.
Yeah, missed 4 races.
Yeah. Absolutely, you take tires. There's a net right there doing a nice job. You take tires without a doubt here. 100%. Let's listen into the 54 Denny Hamlin.
Caution, caution. 19. How are they doing?
Frustrated.
Denny thought he could just cruise all the way to the finish line, but no. They're coming to pit road. Now the crew has to go to work.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin was not happy that caution came out. Going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires. I think the car good enough, though. That was was Chris Gale's reassurance to him. Listen, we still have the car to beat. Don't worry about it. Noah Gragson said his car was a little bit free, and when he finally got to see that 54 out of his windshield, felt like he was catching Denny Hamlin. And then also on pit road, the 7 of the Justin Allgaier in front of you, Dave.
He is indeed. He just needs the 4 tires. When asked if there were any adjustments he needed, he goes, no, I just need grip. They will slap a piece of tape on the front too. Help change the handling there a little bit on the 7.
Drag race for the lead off of pit road.
Oh, who's going to get it? Who dares to go one light faster?
And it looked like it was Hamlin that won that race. Very close and tight between Hamlin and Gragson. Harrison Burton off pit road. That means a restart and very few laps. Stay with us.
Look at these Marco's pizzas. So many toppings and so many choices. And with $3 off any large specialty pizzas, I'll turn these tasty choices into lots of very tasty decisions. Marco's, pizza lovers, get it.
Right about now, you can only use a pancake. Or 10. So come into IHOP, pancakes, burgers, burritos, and more. Because you deserve something that makes you smile. This guy knows what's up.
With Voltaren Arthritis Pain Gel, my husband's got his moves back.
An alternative to pills, Voltaren is the first full prescription strength gel for powerful arthritis pain relief. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Hi, welcome to Sonic. May I take your order? 2 Sonic grilled cheeseburgers. And honey.
Sonic grilled cheeseburger ready for pickup.
Huge pit road penalty, Steve, for the 54.
Yeah, they're saying equipment over the wall too soon. I've yet to see a replay of exactly what happened. Regardless, though, that eliminates the 54 from really any chance to win this race with less than 10 laps to go. Only 7 laps to go right here. He's going to be all the way in the back of this restart. Now you know why he was so frustrated to see that yellow came out.
Yeah, you just never know what's going to happen, Steve. When you're sitting there leading, you get a late race caution. Things like this can happen. It's out of Denny Hamlin's control, right? And here he is with a shot to win the race, and now he's going to have to start back. So disappointing.
Denny, you need to pull over. We got to drop to the back. We had equipment over too quick. Tire. Pull over here and let them go by because we're coming to choose.
Now, one thing that I said earlier is that you have a major advantage as a Cup driver running Xfinity. If this happens
Real
tomorrow
nice.
night, these emotions are going to be way different than they would be today. All right, Steve, let's see how they're going to line up here. So they're coming to the choose. We know we got a couple cars that stayed out on old tires.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy restart here. The 18 of Pembroke is on old tires. Oh, and the old tires, I was wondering if they were going to both take the inside and the outside. They do, so old tires across the front row.
And if you're behind these guys, and listen, I'm not saying Landon Castle did anything wrong. I'm not saying that. But if you're behind them, you're like, why did you do that? Like, put both cars with old tires in the same line.
I mean, these guys going to have to be super heads up, knowing what's happening and who's up front and on old tires. I mean, you saw what happened when Timmy Hill was starting up front.
And that was just one. Now you got old tires side by side on the front row.
All right,
So
Jeff,
do you hang back in this situation to give yourself a little room?
Yes, you got to hang back a little bit because the cars in front aren't going to get rolling quickly.
So guys, it took us a little bit, but we found a great view of this penalty. We're on board with Denny Hamlin. So look right here. I want you to look up. See that right there? That's the left rear tire as we roll forward. Already in the pit box. You're allowed to have the front tires over. You're allowed to do certain things, but that tire cannot be in the pit stall when the car shows up. That's basically having the equipment over pit wall. So that's the penalty. And just a mental error. There's no reason to have that tire over pit wall that early. So team will have to digest it, figure out how the penalty happened. Regardless, so Denny Hamlin out of a chance to win the race.
Coming up, it'll be 5 laps of racing remaining in Darlington. Remember, Daniel Hemrick, he's never won a race in NASCAR. Trying to get that first win today, but he's on older tires. He and Landon Castle making up row 1. Then it's Gragson and Harrison Burton behind him. 5 to go. They fan out 3 wide. Hemrick still in front. Here comes Gragson and Allmendinger. Annette, something wrong with the one. Slow going down the backstretch. Hemrick trying to fight back. Here comes Allmendinger, a racetrack that he doesn't like. He said, I can't perform as well as at any other racetrack. But right now, he's running in the second spot here in Darlington.
Told me earlier he was hoping for a top 5. This hasn't been the best track for him up.
Hemrick slides in the 18. We stay green.
Right here. No green. Stay green.
Can he get it fired and rolling? He does.
Oh, something wrong with him. I mean, Allmendinger, something wrong with Allmendinger.
The 16. Frederick Sparks out. He's down on the apron.
They were 3 wide in turn 1. Maybe damage on the right front, Parker. Yeah, Cedric, he missed it late there. He ran this. He wanted to get there, but he missed it as he goes so hard. There you see the debris on turn 2 right now.
Yeah, all kinds of debris. That's going to bring the yellow out.
And now another restart. The 8th caution of the day. Noah Gregson's going to have to do it again, but this time on a little bit older tires.
Which is going to make just everything more difficult. Acceleration, getting the power down. That was craziness for a couple laps.
Some duct work there coming out.
Yeah, some sort of cooling hoses, probably for the front brakes. See right here, this is the 18. Just loses the back of the car. It goes for a huge slide. Great job by the 23 to miss it.
We've been talking about aerodynamics all day. He's on the bottom. Air getting taken off his car, and he's on old tires. So his pace into turn 1, this is where the damage happened. So here's the launch. They got together, Castle into the side of Noah, and now they're 3 wide. And this 3 wide behind, there's the 4 wide actually. They're banging at each other, slamming at each other, but that damage came on the 16 on the front straightaway.
Okay, drivers, Gregson and Cindric, 1 and 2, Harrison Burton, 3. What lane do you choose with just a 2-lap sprint here in overtime?
Well, typically the outside lane here seems to launch better, but today that hasn't been the case. If I'm Noah, I don't want to enter turn 1 with the 22 on the outside of me, but it seems like the launch has been good on the bottom all day. The top is the safer bet because if you drive into turn 1 and 2, you can take the air off the car that's underneath you. We've seen off turn 2 all day long. The guy on the bottom hasn't been able to keep his car underneath him. So all that said, I think I'd have to take the top and work on getting the best start I can get.
Yeah, it certainly seems like you get down on the bottom and you're trapped, right? You can't go.
The question is, what does Cindric do? Is Cindric saying, hey, look, I know the lane I want. No matter what, my best shot to win is to pick the lane I want. Even if Gregson picks that lane, does he start behind or does he go underneath? That's the question. And I think Harrison in third, he just goes wherever Noah goes. If Cindric picks those.
Well, the pass for the win has come in the final 2 laps in each of the last 3 races here. So this isn't out of the ordinary to see what we're seeing here today.
Yeah, everything we've talked all day long about, not contesting, try not to go too wide. Forget everything we've said. Because for these last 2 laps, I don't even care if it's on the racetrack. If it's paved, it's free game, and there could be cars everywhere. You look at the left, the rundown, there's some names in there, though. You see Reddick there in 6th, as we see Allmendinger come to pit road. Ryan Sieg, we've yet to really mention his name. He's in 8th. Jeremy Clements in 9th. Alex LeMay in 10th. And
on Saturday. And again, a reminder, there's 2 races to go before the playoffs begin. So it's Richmond and Bristol is where the Xfinity Series ends the regular season. Two easy tracks, right?
Yeah, both usually such calm racing. I mean, 3/4 mile short track at Richmond. And then Bristol, we've seen everything happen at Bristol.
That guy that normally is with us broadcasting,
I know.
is he going to do something at Richmond?
Well, actually, I think that's where he is today. I think he's conditioning.
Oh, is that what
he took today off so he could make sure he was in fighting shape for Richmond next week for the Xfinity Series race.
All right. That's right. Dale Jr.
Pictures he
will be.
texts me doesn't look like that.
Good point. Good point. Marty.
Looking at those points, Rick, look where Noah Gragson is. He would only have 3 playoff points if he does not win a race before the playoffs or a stage. So think about what's on the line for him. He would go into the playoffs minus 31 behind Austin Cindric. It's a 49-race winless streak for Noah Gragson. And he said before the race, he told me, this is an opportunity race for us. Boy, the opportunity has opened wide up with Denny Hamlin in the back of the field. Noah could be looking at his first win in a while. And what a timely win, as you guys mentioned. Playoffs coming up soon for the Xfinity Series.
These playoff points are so important. We've seen drivers miss the playoffs by 1 point. You know, just don't make it by 1 point. We've seen ties. Everything you can do is so important. And I think, Steve, that what's important for this 9 team is not just how well they've run today, but how they've run the last 7 or 8 weeks. They've become very consistent, starting to see them finish races, getting what they deserve, and that's not what they were doing early in the year.
Well, we should remind everybody that man we were just showing Dave Ellens. He is not inexperienced when it comes to the playoffs and the playoff run. He's won a championship with William Byron in this car. He won a championship with Tyler Reddick in this car, so he knows how to motivate young drivers. He knows how to pull them back when it's time. He knows how to kind of motivate them to run harder when it's time. I have to give him a lot of credit. You know, a lot of experience on top of the pit box, and I think it really helps Noah through a year like this, Jeff, when things don't go smooth.
The other thing, Steve, that I've been really impressed with him, I saw him do with Noah, is he took him to 2 racetracks to test. Brought him here, and he brought him to home, took him to Homestead, and said, you know what, go tear the right side of the car off. Go figure out how to run the top. And that has paid benefits for Noah Gragson. Coming to the choose cone, let's see where they all go.
And the choice is that inside line.
It's hard to see that choose cone from this view from here. I almost didn't see it. There you go.
Inside line for Gragson, and that means outside for Cindric. So those two will start side by side. How big is it, though, Steve, Jeff? I mean, winning at Darlington is on the line right now. A huge honor to be able to say you won at this racetrack.
I call them resume races. You know, where these young drivers are hoping to win tons and tons of races. And late in their careers, Jeff, or after they retire, they can look back on certain ones. And this is the track they're going to look back on. And this is the place that Hall of Famers, the biggest names in the sport, have gone to victory lane.
This is it, man. Darlington and Daytona, they're the 2 biggest racetracks we go to, period.
Same thing in Supercross racing. You ask a racer which race they want to win. It's Daytona Supercross or perhaps the season opener.
All right, so Noah Gragson right now, his focus has got to be on the launch. Remember, he's on old tires. The last time he restarted, he was on new tires. They're not going to accelerate the same way. You got to be careful not to spin these rear tires. You need to enter turn 1 clear of the 22 of Austin Cindric so he can't take the air off the side of your car.
Top 12 all on the same tire as far as the length that they have been on them. So we'll see how that works. We are in overtime, presented by Credit One Bank. 2 laps to go. A great launch for Noah Gragson in the 9.
He did exactly what he needed to do.
And how about Harrison Burton following right behind him? Up to second, ahead of Cindric.
Harrison got a big run off the turn 2 right there.
Down to the bottom of the racetrack. Burton fighting for the win. Gragson up high, keeps that momentum. One more time around.
Noah Gragson's going to run the high line. That's what he's good at. That's where he's most comfortable.
Neither of these 2 drivers have won in